Where knowledge meets community. Isn't that what we're about?
Absolutely.
Speaking harmony to our community.
One voice at a time.
One voice at a time, sister. Well, we're excited. We're excited because this particular Speak Harmony podcast is brought to you by none other than APAP Media. APAP Media is the premier studio right here. And yes, I said that. The premier studio right here in Hotlanta. Okay? So the Tyler Perry studios and all of that, look out. There's APAP Media. When I tell you every single Tuesday, we depend on Mr. P, Patrick Parkins, right here. And he produces the best. He does podcasting. He does video recording. He does photography. He does podcasts like none other. Okay? Like none other. So let's just put it that way. Look, APAP Media is a photo and production full service company. And let me tell you, we love APAP Media. It's all about that. So APAP stands for action, P, production, A, always, and P as in perfection. That's what we're about. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. And Sister Sharon, what do we have? What special day is it?
Right. How you doing, sis?
I am fabulous.
Absolutely. We give thanks.
Yes.
Today, as we know, folks, that we talk about the National Day. There are a plethora of them, but I always kind of pick out one. And today is National Play Day with Dad.
Wow.
And this is a special day. It falls every year on November 25th. People don't know that, so I'm bringing that to light. And, you know, sometimes whether it's your biological father or not, or a caregiver or a male in the life of a child, you know, that's a special bond, right?
Yes.
You know, dads, they're the ones who help build confidence.
They are.
You know, and they are teachers of teamwork. And I think that is great that we recognize dads, and
yes.
we should talk about that a little bit more. And so, you know, I have memories of my father where he taught me how to read time, how to tie my shoelaces. And, you know, back then they smoked, so he would be upset if I did not clean the ashtray. And I was like, why would I clean the ashtray? You always got ash in there. and then a memory that served me well, I didn't like it at that time, right? He told me I had to write. He was real particular on penmanship. And so he was like, I had to write this letter. Dear grandmother, I am writing this letter because I'm learning how to write properly. Something like that when I was little, probably about 6 years old. And so those are some of the funny. And then the last precious memory I have with my dad, he taught me how to two-step.
Oh,
and
wow.
And because it
really?
was my dad, I would just hold his shirt and I'd hold his body and say, you can't hold man, so you hold. And I'm like, no, I'm holding his shirt at the back because I don't want to hold it.
Yeah.
And so I remember that he taught me that. So I bring that. Yeah.
Wow.
Do you have any special memories?
I have many. One of the ones I would say, though, I didn't grow up with my dad, my biological dad. I grew up with a bonus dad, my stepfather, who was my bonus dad. And so I can speak for two different things. I mean, in my older years, my more mature senior years, I went to really reside with Dad. And so, oh my God, that man was a fish guy. So, the fun that I had with my biological, I'll highlight those and I'll go to the bonus dad, was City Island up there in New York. I mean, that man on Fridays, he would go, hey, Cher, what do you want to do? And I'd be like, I know what you want to do. Lobster box, Sammy's, whatever. So they knew him by name at City Island. There were a plethora of restaurants there. So we had fun. We had fun eating. I found out in my father's late years that my father was a good cook. I went up to see him he lived in the Bronx, and I went up to see him, and he was like, oh, so what do you want to eat? And I'm like, City Island? He says, no, Cher, I'm cooking. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Because I'm like, I've never known my father to be a cook. When my dad cooked the best fish that day, steamed fish, which I really didn't like, I didn't care for, man, let's just say I wanted more when I was done. So flipping, away from that, I grew up with a father, a bonus dad, who was from Hong Kong. He was Chinese. My bonus dad was Chinese. And let me tell you, that man, bless his soul, could cook his off. He would cook the bok choy. In Jamaica, we say pop choy. Don't ask me where we
How we get that.
Don't ask me, but depend on a Jamaican to jack it up, right? Bok choy to pop choy. Whatever way you spin it, we had that. We had the sausages, the bread, and then he had a bakery that we... Look, there are a lot of fond memories. And let me tell you, dads are the head of the household. We should never forget that. Some get cheated, and so we have to come back to center. We've got to bring the family back in unity. And we've got to big up the dads, because there are dads out there who are darn good dads. So big up to all the dads and the daddy roles and all of those that play daddy roles, big boys, big brothers. And tell us about your Sky, because we've got this beautiful, beautiful lady in the studio. And before we even go into deep dive down introducing her, we're gonna put you on the spot.
All right, put me on the spot.
Go ahead and tell us about your daddy.
Oh my goodness.
We all know about him.
A Rastafarian, a humanitarian who taught me the value of kindness. He taught me the value of just living good with people. He was also famously known as the percussionist for Third World. So we had this really fun activity. He used to own an Italian restaurant, so he would play the drums, and after school I would come over in my uniform dress and he would play and I would dance, and all the staff and everybody would circle around and watch us do our thing. He also taught me about spirituality, that there is a greater meaning to all of this thing that we call life.
Absolutely.
And he was an incredible conversationalist. We would be on the phone for 2-3 hours, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it feels like 20 minutes. But he was that kind of person.
Yeah.
Listen, the guy had 5 kids, and when he passed, each of us were convinced that we were the favorite child.
That's right.
Because he paid such close attention to each. I mean, you couldn't tell me I wasn't the favorite. And I had valid reason to believe.
Of course.
And I had arguments to back up my reasoning.
Yeah, the receipt.
You understand? I had data. I had evidence. And my sister Rain said, but let me tell you something here. No, here is my evidence.
Hello.
And then Art come in, and then and I'm like, okay.
Okay.
So this man was incredible at
Yes.
helping people to feel special.
Wow.
Like we were the favorite. Every single one of us. All 5 of us.
All 5.
Were the favorites.
That's right.
I love it.
That was my dad.
Thank you
I
for
love
sharing
it.
that. Absolutely.
So we jumped ahead of ourselves, but we couldn't help. I really couldn't help myself because, honestly, so now let's jump into it. Tell the folks who you are and what you do, and we can go that route. So we've got you in here. Yes. Let it go. We were free-flowing, freestyle.
I'll tell you all the titles that, folks can probably find on LinkedIn or wherever. Sky Jarrett, CEO and co-founder of Transcend Global. I'm also a senior advisor with McKinsey and Company, which is one of the world's largest consulting firms. I'm a speaker, but also a leadership strategist and expert, mindfulness practitioner and teacher, and we partner with organizations who essentially are navigating times of change and are trying to find a strategic approach to maneuvering that pivotal moment, helping them to better manage the stress, helping them to lead with clarity and decision-making and confidence in those moments of uncertainty and confusion.
Absolutely.
And so we do that work through partnering with teams, partnering with individual leaders, and of course, bringing our work to big stages for keynote speeches as well.
I did check out your TED Talk.
You sure did.
Of course. Wow.
Yes, absolutely.
So we don't play around here, right? We've got big shots in here. Big people. We brag on that. We've got
some small fish.
Shot callers.
And
no.
she's representing as a true Jamaican with all those different hats.
Hello.
That's right.
Yes.
We're a hustler out in these streets. You understand? We just wear all the hats.
Hustlers. Yes. Wow. So, Sharon.
So, tell me since I said TED Talk, tell us how did that come about? What made you think about doing that?
Divine intervention. It was not planned. I didn't apply. I got a phone call and an invitation to deliver a TEDx talk.
Now that's the best.
And I said, well, what did you have in mind? The talk was in 2 weeks. and we had just lost our mom. And to be honest, grief is not necessarily one of our business offerings. We don't offer grief coaching, grief counseling, or any of those things. But it felt really important. It felt like a message that was near and dear to our hearts. My sister and I had navigated the grief of losing our dad, the grief of our mother dying for 3 years of cancer, and several other losses. And we found an approach that to me felt radical. It felt different. But through that, we were somehow able to find joy amidst very difficult, gut-wrenching grief. And so I had the opportunity to take the stage and to spread what I thought was a very powerful message. And to find out just a few years later that we're almost at 100,000 views and have done zero marketing for this TEDx talk. I mean, just word of mouth. If someone hears of someone dying, we shared the talk. And it's just spread organically, which to me validated that it was a message well needed, even though we were not seeking profits, because it has nothing to do with the business.
I just want to shout out, I'm sorry. I just want to shout out, while I'm thinking about her, Gloria Harris.
Yes.
Gloria Harris, because this is a sister that I met her husband, and he said he's American, but he's Jamaican.
Yes.
Married to a Jamaican. So he just said, you have to meet my wife. She's a powerhouse. And when I spoke to her last week, she says to me, you have to meet Sky Jarrett. I'm like, okay, so let me see who's Sky Jarrett. Oh my God, yes, I have to meet Sky Jarrett. And so here we are.
Here we are.
So we want to say, in short order, we thank you, we're gracious, we give thanks, we're grateful
Such short
for you,
notice.
such short notice.
Absolutely.
You know, you're here on your break, you know, with your family, and you decided to grace us with your presence. That means the world. And this is how we transcend. This is where we're authentic. This is where we're real. And this is when we do what we do. And I bless God for you. So talk to me about that 2023 Disruptor Entrepreneur Award. Big things. There's a whole heap of big things. You know, we need 6 hours just to do this, to cover this. Yes.
I mean, being a recovering, overachieving, stress-addicted perfectionist who left the corporate world to find a different path, that to me was a disruption. To realize that it's not that I wanted to escape corporate. And I think like many of your listeners who probably participate and work in corporate, they probably want to maintain that career path. But they probably find themselves sitting and wondering and questioning, this cannot be it. There must be a different way.
Something else.
This place is sucking the life out of me. But I want to stay. I have an opportunity to have impact. Or they lead a team that they love and adore and very much cherish. So oftentimes corporate executives find themselves in that tug of war, which I did. And it didn't make sense. And it's not that I wanted the full soft life. I wanted to be the badass that I knew myself to be. But I wanted a different way. And so to disrupt what it means to be successful in the corporate space, taking an alternative approach, integrating mindfulness and other contemplative practices, understanding the brain science of what does it mean to actually achieve in a way that is sustainable, that we can have impact, and that we can actually find joy and fulfillment and meaning in what can be a very toxic and challenging work environment. And so in that way, the work that we do is very disruptive because we help leaders to find that path and to find themselves amidst what otherwise can be a very confusing environment.
It disrupts the mindset, right? And the status quo of what people think that leadership should be number one, think who we should be, the mass that we...
And so whatever that looks like for you, but I'll give you some prompts. Bring your shoulders up to your ears, roll them all the way back. And as you do that, just exhale. You might have already done this instinctively, but if not, invitation to close your eyes or hold a soft gaze looking downward. Option to keep your eyes open if that feels more comfortable and more accessible to you. So choosing your own adventure. I want to invite you to bring your attention to a part of your body where you can really experience the breath, whether at the nostrils, perhaps in the back of your throat, or maybe for you it's just the movement of the breath. So you might notice the chest moving up and down, the belly pushing in and out as you breathe. And I'm going to invite us collectively as a community, both in person and online, for us to take 3 collective breaths. Inhaling through the nostrils, and when you're ready, exhaling through the mouth. Continue in your own pace, finding your own rhythm, inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling with intention through the mouth. And on your last breath, inhaling a sense of calm, a sense of confidence. And on the exhale with intention, just releasing and relaxing into this present moment. And then as we bring the practice to a close, just allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. And then just noticing what that experience was like for you. Taking a moment to allow the nutrients of the practice to shower over you, to settle in, before very gently opening the eyes. And just bringing your attention back to whatever space you're in.
The nutrients of your practice.
The nutrients.
Love that.
Yes.
So love
The
that.
deliciousness. Just suck it all up.
I could definitely eat that up.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Part of
Love
my
it.
daily practice as well.
Yes.
Love that.
Thank,
And Marcy Hines. Oh, that's right. Great relaxation techniques. You know who that is.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Wow. Love it.
right.
Love it.
Thank you so
Amazing.
much.
Yes.
Is that
Yeah, nurse practitioner.
practitioner? Thank you
Marcy
so much.
Hines. She was here just the other day, as a matter of
Okay,
fact. Yes.
Yes,
Thank you. We appreciate it. Appreciate it. She's a cancer thriver, by the way.
Okay,
who
I
has
love that. A
an
cancer
amazing
thriver.
oh my God, an amazing story. But you know, time is rapidly winding down, and we want to get to the meat of the matter.
Tell me.
Tell us what it is that Sky and Rain. Yes, that's Sky and Rain. What is it that you have to offer the here and now? I mean, people were watching. There are folks who are misguided, and as Sharon said, wear masks every day to their corporate jobs. It almost feels, and I'm not knocking it, so don't get it twisted. I'm just saying we're like lambs to the slaughter. We go in to build up someone else's empire, their kingdom, their corporate, their Fortune 500, not knocking it, but I'm just saying that we're here to build this up. Because, you know, while we're doing that, the rat race, what are we doing? We're demolishing us, the mindfulness.
If we're not careful.
If we're not careful, we just keep wearing masks and they become a part of us.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Big question. I'll start by just grounding us in who we are and where we're from. Jamaica,
Yes.
as you know, is a people whose culture is very much informed by the rich history of the Maroon slaves. We are 4th generation Maroon slaves, my sister and I.
Wow.
And for those of you who do not know the history of Maroon slaves were the rebels on the plantations who escaped, who fought against the British for the rights of their people,
Yes.
went back to the plantation and freed their fellow men and women who were also enslaved. And so that blood runs through our veins, and it is at the very core of who we are and who we see ourselves to be and the very work that we see ourselves to be. So when we wrap our arms and our hearts around the clients who step into our virtual or physical doors, whether they come to retreat or we're in a coaching relationship or we step foot into their organization, at the core of the work that we're doing, Sharon,
Yes.
is the work of liberation.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
Is
see
the work of liberation.
absolutely. I see where it's running. It's running through your DNA, even the leadership, because
Yes.
you know that talking about the Maroons having a treaty during the high time of enslavement.
Yes.
And so I see that you bring that into your workspace.
Absolutely.
And so we
Absolutely.
give thanks for that. Absolutely.
Liberation, I would say, just to double click on that, liberation from the very systems that enslave us, liberations from the very systems that tell us that we have to be a certain thing and show up in a certain way, and to be that thing and to show up in that way, we have to wear a mask.
Yes.
And wearing that mask robs us of the core authenticity of who we are as a person. And so we pretend to be something that we're not. And if we're not careful, it starts to eat away at the soul of who we are as a person. And so our work invites people to remove that mask, to exhale into the comfort and support and safety of a community who is in it with them, who gets it. And by learning the tools and the practices that we teach them, the concepts always backed by neuroscience, by the way, and also our lived experience, they embark on a journey where they can become truth tellers to each other and to themselves about who they are and what's important to them and how they're going to live in accordance with what's important to them.
And might I add how we look as well, how the expectation
Absolutely.
of what a leader or what someone as an executive or a CEO should look as well.
Absolutely.
Because we get a lot of that, and I'm sure you over that from your father.
Of course. And the mother. Look, and I'm sure a mother, because I mean, you had to have a mother who was a rebel. To be, you know, a rebel with a cause.
Oh,
I might
absolutely.
add.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
seriously, because I can see that in you. I mean, people look. Don't judge the book by the cover.
Oh,
I keep telling people, don't do that.
Don't make that
don't
mistake.
Try that. Don't make
that
do it.
mistake. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You know, I love it. There is sky, and then there's rain.
Yes.
Okay, and in your practice, in what you do, how you represent, how you show up.
Yeah.
I mean, give a snippet before you go about your compadre, your sister, your partner in. I don't say partner in crime. That's a
Partner in shine.
There you go.
Partner in shine. Partner in shine.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. My big sister.
Oh, I love it.
Right. I won't have you guess who is older because I might be offended. Because most people somehow guess that I'm the older one, even though we're 5 years apart. Right. A partner in shine. A partner in this work. Yes. Rain is also a mindfulness practitioner, and in the throes of supporting our mom as primary caregivers during her cancer journey. And people saying, how are you possibly doing this? As you're losing your mom, you know she's gonna die. We're going through a pandemic. You're starting this new business with each other as sisters and as partners. How are you doing this? And it's those conversations that my sister and I, she's a sociologist, and she has studied behavioral psychology and sociology, social and emotional learning. And so she brings that lens to the work that we do and helps both of us to understand how the world that we're living in at the macro level, when you think socially, politically, economically, all the liz, and how that's impacting us as a people and the implication of that on us as individuals who are trying to find our way.
Yeah.
That's the level of conversation that she and I are able to have. And she brings the lens of the sociologist and I bring the lens of the psychologist, and we get into the conversation, but also narrowing in on how are we as humans who are living this experience, navigating, and what are we finding helpful and what are the tools. And then she's this community builder who just has a way that she brings her nurturing spirit, a heart of generosity, very much like our dad and our mom, mind you, and just organizes people. When we host our dinners and brings people together, we have a leadership community that we run virtually, and she is the convener of the people. Yeah. That's who she is, and that's what she does.
Wow.
I'm curious, what's the response that you get? Because you go into Fortune 500 companies, and I suspect that most of them are males.
majority, and they don't necessarily look like me either.
Exactly. I was going there as well. How do they respond to bring in mindfulness? Because, you know, a lot of them say this is a lot of woo-woo mumbo-jumbo type thing.
So I hit them with the science.
Of course.
That's right.
Because you can't argue the science.
You cannot.
That's why I'm a bit of a unicorn. We start talking about the brain. We talk about how this work impacts the brain. We talk about the impacts of the chronic stress that we're all navigating as a global society.
Correct.
How that impacts us from a brain science perspective. And that builds credibility. It builds legitimacy. I am not fooled into thinking that I show up, I look young, I'm a female, I'm mixed, black. People think, what do you have to teach me? Someone said that to me once. I looked at you and thought, well, what is this young spring chicken coming to teach me? Yeah. And so I lead with the science because it builds legitimacy and credibility. And then we ease into the experiences similar to what you just had.
That's right.
I love it.
And
we always have to prove ourselves.
And then before they know it, they're more relaxed, more centered, more confident, more calm, and then they want more.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course. Yeah. You know, it's that time, you know, and Sky, I can't stand when that happens. But we're going to ask you because of time. Look in that camera and tell the folks where they can find you, how they can locate you, because you and your sister, Rain.
Yeah.
The sky and the rain, the
That's
natural
right.
elements. You're just going to continue to rain down us.
You're just going to rain down on them. You understand?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
So we're gonna come true.
And rain.
Come on. So we've got
Rain to give her props and say hi to the folks as well.
So we've got Rain.
Surprise.
Here you go. We got a surprise right here.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having us.
Yes.
You are so welcome. Thank
We
you
appreciate you both. I mean, really.
Yeah. And did you finish give your contacts? Because as you're finishing, as we're getting ready to wrap up, before we go to commercial, I'm going to ask Mr. P to put up a little bit of your TED Talk so people can also go and
let's
add
go.
to that video.
Yes.
Let's go.
Hit that mark.
That's right.
Hit that mark. Okay.
Easiest
We're gonna
place
do
to
the
find
millionth
us,
mark.
SkyJarrett.com if you're interested in bringing me to one of your stages to bring dynamic, inspiring, motivating, empowered, and grounded in science approach to leadership. I would be happy to join you. SkyJarrett.com.
And that's JARRETT.
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
And due to time constraints, we can't bring it up, but I'd love for people, because the title is very engaging, and how we juxtapose joy and grief. Could you give the title of that for me?
Finding Joy in Grief, a Radical Approach to Mindful Grieving.
All right.
There it is.
So, folks, check it out. There it is.
Yes.
Sky Jarrett.
Thank you,
There
Mr.
we
P.
go. Thank
Yeah,
you,
Mr. P. You're amazing.
You know you got it. There you go. So thank you again for visiting us.
Thank you for having
so
us.
Fortunate,
Thank you for
and
having
We
me.
are blessed.
That you have
We
a
are
great
blessed.
holiday
We're
season.
so blessed.
And to
have
you as well.
Yes. Wow.
All right, then.
Walk good, as we'd say in
One love.
Jamaica.
Yes,
Good.
walk good. One love. One love.
All right,
Wow.
Speak Calm family. We are going on a quick break, and we are changing up our guest to add to the mindfulness of this particular podcast.
Amazing. Thank you. Woo, man. I love this. Cher, welcome back to the second half of the show. When I tell you this place was lit, it's lit. It's the fire. It's the elements that were brought in to open up this podcast. The sky and the rain just poured on. What do you mean? We got a rain all over. All over. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm going to leave you to introduce our next guest, Dr. Reed. Go right ahead. Chop it up.
So welcome, Dr. Gurleen Kaur.
Yes.
All right, who is an integrative and functional medicine primary care provider at Resilience Center, which is located in Swanee, but also serve the greater Atlanta, right? And her expertise is in internal medicine and nephrology, and also is very passionate about staying in the forefront of medical advancements. And so we welcome you here to Speak Harmony, to talk to us a little bit about how did you come up with, I'm sure you started off with traditional.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And then moved into functional and then integrated the both of them. So tell us, what does that look like? A lot of people don't understand the terminologies.
Absolutely.
Integrative and functional medicine, and what does that really mean?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me today. This is a great opportunity to connect with everybody in your audience. So I'm very, very blessed and happy to be here today.
We welcome
And thank you. So this journey of mine has been very personal and something that I'm still on this journey. So it feels like the more I learn about the different modalities of how medicine is being practiced in the rest of the world, and the more I learn about these techniques and tools that I'm able to offer my patient, the more I feel like I need to keep diving deep because it's never enough. Like you had mentioned, very, very hardcore, conventionally trained. I come from a family of where my father was a hardcore conventional physician and more so inclined towards academic medicine. So he used to teach other physicians versus my mother, who was anti-medications completely. So growing up in a household of these conflicting ideas, I, naturally inclined towards conventional medicine because it was more cooler, it was coming from the West, and it was something that was considered more, appealing at that time. So, but I was always also very applauded by the science behind it. I was drawn towards the human biology and the physiology, how the chemical reactions in our body. And I figured it's a wonderful piece of art that God has created. And it is so complicated, yet is so powerful that it has its own natural abilities to come out of come out of something that was an injury to it, so or an insult. It can drive itself out of it. So I did my medical school back in India, and then came to the U.S. for higher education for my residency. Landed in Chicago. Did 3 years of internal medicine, completed my board certification, and then was chosen as a chief resident, and added another year in my residency. Then the study of kidney diseases always excited me. Kidneys are special. I feel like they're smarter than your brains because it knows what is waste and what is necessary.
Yes.
So it's a very, very vital and often ignored organ of our body. So that brought me to Georgia and finished my fellowship at Emory University. And while I was finishing that up and looking for jobs and, going into that private practice realm with nephrology, COVID hit.
Yeah.
And suddenly everything halted. And that kind of gave me the time to reflect upon what I was doing and what I was ready to become. A lot of my patients had advanced kidney disease, were on dialysis, had complications of diabetes, high blood pressure, often termed as lifestyle disorders. And what I had learned in those 2 years was how to prescribe a lot of medications. Oftentimes those people would suffer from high blood pressure, so there was a pill for that. And more than that, more than a pill. It usually takes 3 to 4 pills in the more advanced stages of kidney disease. If you had high phosphorus level, there was a binder pill for that you have to take with each meal. So that's a big pill to swallow. There was a water pill, a pill for potassium, a pill for acid levels. So you name it and we got it. And at the end of, what I was seeing, a lot of people, the numbers looked good. So they were all in the green zone, but they were not healing, or they still were not feeling good. So despite having 20 medications on their profile, what was I doing as a physician to help them get better, to help them achieve more energy levels and that quality of life that they all suffered? And more than that, it was a lot of fear in their eyes that I saw. It is a progressive disease, chronic kidney disease, and so they would end up on dialysis. And that term itself instilled so much fear and agony in these patients. And I had nothing in my pocket to help them other than maybe more medications and new inventions within transplant, within dialysis modalities and stuff like that. So during that time that COVID provided me, I started an integrative medicine fellowship. And it was a light bulb moment for me and my family. And I realized how little I knew after 2 board certifications in conventional medicine. How much little I did not know the kind of oils we should cook in, the kind of temperature I should cook my food in, what was the importance of the spices that were in my kitchen rack, and things like that. And there was evidence behind it. It's not voodoo science, like a lot of people, or including myself, believe that. I never believed my mother, who would tell me how powerful turmeric was when, you had fever or an ache or a cut in your skin and things like that. I never believed her, decided to take a Tylenol or ibuprofen instead. But when I learned about the science behind what these things would do at the chemical level. So again, using my scientific brain, but trying to explore these other avenues which have evidence, not probably in medical journals, but anecdotally through, cultures.
That's right.
And Indian culture, there is so much in the Chinese culture, Eastern European culture, and all of those coming together and integrating that into my conventional medicine training. When I tried to do that practically, it blew my mind of the power of integrative medicine. When I was almost at the tail end of my fellowship, somehow we decided to move to DC, and I got an opportunity to become an assistant professor at George Washington University. And there came my first example of a Black young female that I met who was as old as I was at the time. She had 3 children, and she presented to the hospital with stage 5 kidney disease.
Oh, stage 5.
And I had to deliver the news to her. And I went in just casually that I'll be done in 5 minutes and I'll go home. That was the end of my shift. But the conversation took almost an hour because it was followed by a lot of emotional outbursts, as I was not surprised, tears and fear, that I had to calm her down and provide some hope, and I didn't know what I was doing. That was one of my first young attending patients. So I invited her to my clinic, and I used my principles that I learned during fellowship. That was my early experiences with functional holistic medicine. And to my surprise, she took it very seriously because it was or otherwise there was dialysis. She lost 90 pounds in like 7 months that I was with her without any fancy injections. Just researching a lot about the power of nutrition. She went totally plant-based. And she said to me before I left GW and came back to Georgia that she felt like she had more energy than even when she did not have the kidney disease diagnosis. So having or living with kidney disease or chronic conditions, if you have bad heart disease or hypertension or diabetes, is not the end of the world. there is so much healing power that your body has, and it can lead to such improved outcomes if you just look around you in Mother Nature and what other means of medicine might have to offer. And I very proudly say that I left her from 4 to half a pill of blood pressure management and stage 5 kidney disease. Wow. Now she does podcasting about living with kidney disease, and she often tells her about positive experience.
Yes.
Thankfully, she never ended up on dialysis. She got preemptive transplant. But more than that, what I was able to give to her, and, you know, with God's blessing, was quality of life.
Yes.
So important.
I like that a lot, because, you know, when you say young, especially a young person with kidney failure, I just lost, unfortunately, I lost a cousin just recently, a young cousin who had kidney failure.
Right.
My husband is in the audience, and there are a few of us right here who could relate, because he lost an uncle, and I know while you were speaking, I could literally hear his brain ticking away because he kept saying to his uncle, do this, do that. Yeah. But what you said, Dr. Kaur, most of us are not open to trying to sort of get away from the conventional stuff. Right. This is what we're programmed to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We're not used to going outside like our grandparents and our parents did and pick that bush. Yes, the bush doctors that they were. Yeah. And they were great. They would go out and they would grab something. I got some turmeric thanks to my sister-in-law. Yeah. And I looked at it and I thought it was ginger. Ginger root. I didn't know it was turmeric.
It does look very similar.
Amazing.
Very familiar.
Yeah. So I thought turmeric just came up the other day. I thought I didn't know anything about turmeric until maybe about
and I was
10
a part
years ago.
of that too. I was a part of that ignorance. Yeah. I did not believe in that. Coming from a culture that is so rich in alternative medicine, I knew bits and pieces, but I never learned it as a science.
You saw for yourself the lifestyle change.
Right.
I'm sure it's not only just the diet, but it's also the mindset. So it's not just the eating habits, it's the mindset that you also had to incorporate as well. And as you were saying, Sharon, I had a client who did not go to the doctor until they were stage 4, and they were supposed to be, years ago, we found out, on dialysis, but did not go on dialysis because at his age, he knew many people who had dialysis and did not make it.
Right.
And so therefore, the fear, as you were speaking of saying it, and not even his wife knew that he was at that stage, and unfortunately, you know,
and
did not make it.
That's what unfortunately happens with a lot of lifestyle issues, is that it's not painful.
Yeah.
Diabetes doesn't cause any pain or discomfort. It's just a matter of numbers. High blood pressure is painless until that one day that it hits you. So they're all called silent killers.
Oh, that's exactly what I was going to say, because they're not symptoms.
They don't warn you. They don't warn you. They just hit you.
It just hits you. And that is where preventive health and education becomes so important and powerful. Yeah. And presenting in a way that the other person understands. We wrongly think that all of these things take a lot of time in practice. It just needs to be framed in a way that the message comes across in a very simple language to your patients, because they're in a very vulnerable space. They are suffering. They need that sympathy, that emotional, that reaching to that emotional level.
Absolutely.
To dig in there and try to come on the other side of the glass ceiling.
So I know part of your passion is to make sure that each patient has their own care plan, and you say that that's what sets you apart, and I like that. And with you answering that, I'm also curious, do you use a health coach that helps to say the house?
It's hard to do what I intend to do without a nice team of vetted partners. It's hard to be the nutritionist, the health coach, the life coach, and being the MD in the clinic. So I do rely on my team to help me with that aspect. I do a lot of things, whatever I can within the visit, but sometimes you need calculations, or you need certain more personalized. It will take me another lifetime to be experts in all of these. So I do rely on a great team of people that I work with, and it's growing.
Yeah, it's a part of the practice too. So tell us about that. Because, don't hide that from my audience. Now we want to hear. Let our audience know what your husband does, because I mean, your husband is very much an integral part of the whole practice.
Right. And I would very strongly say that to my audience today, that this would not have been possible without his vision. You know, he was the one who saw this in me, that I could do it. And I was inherently not a very ambitious person, or kind of a little lazy to come out there, but he was the pusher. He told me to go out there, talk to people. You have the talent, you know, you need to share it with the larger audience. He is a physician as well, and both of us share very, very common philosophy. He's internal medicine, obesity, and integrative medicine certified. So he jumped into it first with his obesity medicine training, and he opened the doors for both of us to enter into this fellowship together. He is much more disciplined in following these practices than I am. So we try as much as possible to incorporate this within our own personal lives, including what has been very difficult for me to do is do it in our kids. You know, because they cannot be influenced. They don't know science. All they know is Halloween candies and the pizzas and the burgers, all of what is offered within the school limits and in birthday parties and places like that. So it's very hard in today's day and age to practice what is out there, the nutritional part, the exercise, the spirituality, the mindfulness. Just because it's such a fast-paced, we are in this toxic soup of commercials, of marketing, you know, from these companies. There is sodas, Coke, candies, this cereal, fast food options. There, you name it, and we all have it. So how do you make those important choices?
I like that, because that's leading me to my question, another question, because time is winding down and we can't stand when that clock just starts ticking and ticking as it does. What's one of the things that you would say you wish your patients would do differently to support their own health? I mean, what's that one thing?
I think everybody's bodies are very different. But one thing that's in common is we all have different genetic soup. But our environment heavily influences our genes. And it's more than a switch, it's a dimmer switch. So you can turn your genes on and off with your lifestyle. So I want them to understand that although a lot of these conditions are termed as being genetic, but there are so many lifestyle changes and environmental changes that you can do to switch them on and off. Maybe not completely, but to some extent. And even with advanced diseases, there is hope. And your body's innate immunity capacity to heal will help you. So we need that enrichment externally to nurture not just nutritionally, but also our souls, our spirits, through sleep, through different pillars that give you that sustainability to survive in this world. Nutrition being one of the strongest pillars, but there are others like exercise, sleep, stress reduction, community, spirituality, religion, staying away from environmental toxin. And one cannot be replaced by the other. If I eat the best food, but I'm sedentary, I'm still at risk. If I don't get enough sleep, I'm still at risk. So it all has to come together.
In unison.
And that's
correct.
integrating.
That is the beauty of integrative medicine.
You're born for this because you had your mother who believed in Mother Earth and those herbs, and then you had your dad who believed in the science.
Right.
And so you merge them together.
Absolutely.
In order to
That's the beauty of it.
That is the beauty of it.
And the truth
I'm glad your
lies in the
husband gave you that extra push.
He was my pusher.
Shout out your husband, because
thank
let me
you.
tell you, when you share that with me, oh my goodness. So we've got folks over there blowing us up. Who's that? Rhonda Adams again. Sister
And
Sharon.
I want to thank Miss Marcia Hines today, who has been such a powerful, to get me to the community today, to be the
Yes.
reason of why I'm here
Yes.
between
yes.
your audience today. I appreciate you,
Wow,
Pastor
and then there's
Marcia.
Michelle Hill, or Speak Harmony supporter. When I tell you, she's amazing. She's a broker in that whole medical space. She's been our lifeline. And so this is how God, operates in the entire space, in the universe. He puts us all together in harmony.
Right.
So we could speak harmony in our community. How do you see healthcare evolving in the next 5 to 10 years? I'm just a question, because I know a lot of people are asking the same question.
Right.
They want answers.
I think we are on a mission.
Yes.
It's a movement. Integrative medicine is not science, or it's not steady. It's very dynamic. I want the audience to join us together in this mission and movement to change and take charge of their own health. If we don't speak in harmony, if we don't speak about our needs, then the system is not going to change. It's very easy to be, in that vicious cycle of keep going to the practitioner or the physician and coming back with a bunch of medication. But we got to break that vicious cycle and join this movement. And we at Reliance Medical Center are trying to, and that's what put me away from corporate and, just in sync with our other guests that you had today, coming out of that corporate medicine and embracing this new journey that we at Reliance Medical Center in Suwannee are trying to get as many people as possible, because this is impossible without the help of our patients.
Yes.
They are the charge here, and we are the guides,
Yes. So I would like to ask, usually we ask about tips that you would give the listeners, but we may have some physicians in the audience as well.
Oh, nice.
So what advice would you give primary care practitioners?
I think to keep their minds open. There are a lot of patients who teach me, even to today, don't be dismissive. There is always a reason that it takes a lot of effort and courage and money for people to come and see their physicians. And if there's a symptom that you don't understand, at least referring to the right person, trying to get to the root. It may take another 30 seconds to a minute extra to spend with your patients, but it ultimately will translate into improved outcomes. So have that listening and open mindset is what I would ask other primary cares and conventional medicine physicians to embrace this new shift in the culture that we are seeing, either through social media or different courses that are now available to practitioners to take. And to our patients, I would say there is hope. There is a lot that you can do, which just does not have to be ended at just a bunch of medications, but there's a lot that you can achieve even if you have advanced diseases.
I want to publicly thank you, Dr. Kaur.
My
It's
pleasure.
bubbling up in me just to say thank you, because I've been to your practice. And as Sister Marcia Hines stated, when she introduced me to you, she says, Sharon, I'm going to tell you, as a nurse, in my whole life, I've not really ran into anyone with the caliber of tenacity and love of people and patience. I mean, really, you treat your patients as family. You don't rush them out. She doesn't. You sat with me that day, and I was like, doesn't she have other patients? But I could tell the way you sat with me and you explained everything in detail. But then I followed up on a telemed, and she took the time to listen to me.
So important.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I
And
thank
think
you
that's
for
the
that.
number one thing that most patients complain about. They don't listen.
No responsibility for,
It's
time
not
and
that
stuff.
they don't listen. It's just, unfortunately, to the way the industry is run, they don't have the time.
They don't have
They
time.
don't have
They
the
don't.
Yeah, but so definitely applaud and commend you, and
Yes.
thank you
Thank you.
again
Appreciate that.
for taking the time to do that. Since we are just my last thought and and love for you to comment, because a lot of people are on the herbal tip, and there's a lot of stuff floating around. Take this, take that. But I always say I can suggest, but you need to go to a provider who specializes in this, because you can take the turmeric, but maybe turmeric is not for you or not for that particular ailment. How much turmeric? How often turmeric? Right. You know, people may even take a lot of garlic.
Yeah.
But it's not. But too much garlic definitely disrupts the digestive system and whatnot. So, what would you say to those?
I think that's where the expertise comes into play. The science comes into play. And while we're talking about turmeric, the powdered turmeric is not very well absorbed. So there's a way to take turmeric, there's a way to take the herbs. In Ayurvedic medicine, there are a lot of food combinations that are not good for you, that increase the bad energy within the body. So just understanding those. I talk a lot about food combinations, the timing of eating, the fasting. And then these are supplements. Oftentimes I get people with 20 bottles of supplements, and I'm like, oh my God, you moved from one spectrum to the other. And that's not my intention. I don't want to get you out of the clinic with 20 bottles of supplements, but these are truly supplements. So they are not substitutes, they are supplements.
Go. Absolutely.
So that's
where the difference. Supplements
over
substitutes.
Right. So there's no substitute for the pillars of health. The sleep, the exercise, the nutrition. You can those supplement, because even our soils are getting depleted. Our foods are not as enriching as they used to be in the past. So that's where the supplements come into play. That's where the herbs come into play. If you need a little bit extra for the stress management, for sleep, for increasing your immunity, for so many different things.
And supplements are for if you're deficient in a particular vitamin and or mineral, hence the name supplement.
Absolutely. You're supplementing. You're not replacing.
Yeah.
So definitely.
And there are hormones, there is gut health. There is so much more specialized testing that we do at the clinic. So
you started off with kidney being silent, but kidney is very, very loud.
Very loud, and it is connected.
Of course.
It's not in a compartment in your body. It receives blood from the entire body. So it's connected to your heart, it's connected to your brain, to your gut, to every part of your body. So we silo things up.
We just hate to say goodbye or so long, because this is crazy. Yes,
this whole thing was my thing.
Dr. Kaur, we thank you, but we want to tell the audience once more. Let them know how they can connect with you, because we're pretty much out of time.
Yeah, I understand that. I talk too much. That's
No, you don't. No, you don't. You talk good stuff. We love you.
So I have a clinic, a primary care nephrology clinic, and we take all insurances, which is again a little bit different than other practices. It's located in Suwannee. It's called Reliance Medical Center. We have a website, reliancemedicalga for Georgia.com. And you can find our phone number or other contact details or address on our website. So I would love to welcome anybody who would like to embrace this journey. That's pretty much it. We take all insurances, so everybody's welcome.
No excuses.
None.
And there should be no inconveniences when it comes to your health.
Absolutely.
All right. Namaste.
Namaste. My pleasure.
So, Speak Harmony family, we appreciate APAP Media Group once again for sponsoring this show, and to our other sponsor, Heart Love, who also specializes in emotional and relationship management. Join us right here next Tuesday, live on YouTube, 7 to 8 Eastern Time, as we continue learning from those who inspire us through action and purpose. So until then, speak harmony.
Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. See you next Tuesday, same time, same place. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Welcome to Speak Harmony, hosted by Sharon Thompson and Dr. Sharon Lee, bringing news, ideas, and community needs. We learn, we grow, we stay informed together.